hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jhona. This is Jhona OhMGee. Today we'll be reviewing Real Housewives of Potomac Season 7, The Reunion Part 2. So here we are again, child. The reunion of the fakeness and the lies, child. The lies, the lies, the lies. Yeah, I know Candiace said that right. So we start this reunion off back with Gizelle and the accusations against people's husband, child. So Candiace says that Gizelle went to damn near everybody and said that Chris needs to apologize for the way that he treated her. And Candiace was like, we all want to know, and the viewers too, what did Chris do to you, Gizelle? What did he do? All Gizelle said was, he made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, but how? But how did he make you feel uncomfortable? Did he say something to you? Did he make an inappropriate gesture? How did he make you feel uncomfortable? Like, that's what the part that she's missing here. So basically, Candiace really didn't let off Gizelle's necks, and rightfully so. So they agreed to just table that conversation until Chris comes out there. So production shows the footage of Chris allegedly flirting with Ashley's friend Deborah, who, I'm sorry, y'all, Deborah just not that cute to me. She's just not that girl to me, but whatever. And lo and behold, Chris is not flirting with her. I mean, you could really tell from that video that Chris barely even wanted to talk to that girl. Like, Deborah was the one who even initiated the conversation out of nowhere. So she was the one that's like, hi, what's your name? I'm Deborah. Oh, my husband's name's Krams. Like, Chris was not interested in having a conversation with her. He's like, yeah, Chris is a pretty common name. Whoop-de-doo, your husband's name is Chris. Okay, so your point. So you could really tell that there was no flirtation going on. So it shows that Deborah is a liar, and she really just made up that whole thing to get some TV time, in my opinion. So Wendy brought up a great point. She's basically saying some women on this show, for some reason, feel uncomfortable when the men are just being nice to them or they smile at them. And then now it's making it so the men, or the husband, so to say, won't even be able to have a conversation with anyone for fear, conversation with anyone in the group for fear that they will be accused of something indecent. I mean, just look at this Chris situation. So I guess we were still on Candiace's segment. So Andy brings up the IG Live that Candiace did. Then Robyn dropped the little Bluetooth speaker on the table, I guess trying to expose Candiace. But I'm like, she went on IG Live. I don't think she was trying to hide it from you guys. So Candiace was just basically upset because she was just like, Robyn, if you're actually my friend, and if you thought that I was talking about you, why wouldn't you come up to me and say something to me about the situation? Instead, you try to like shame me, shame her in front of the group. And Rob was like, why does everyone have a problem with stuff being brought up that's on camera? And I don't think Candiace has a problem with the fact that it's being brought up on camera, because you could have easily went to her one-on-one still on camera and had that same conversation with her if you felt some type of way, or if you felt you were being slighted by the IG Live video. But instead, you tried to put it on the forefront. And Candiace was like, I wasn't embarrassed about it. You should have been embarrassed, which was tickled me. And y'all, the way they're showing these clips of Robyn, like the Watch What Happens Live interview, I'm really starting not to like Robyn. I always thought she was lame and boring, but child, I'm really starting just not to like her. She's not likable to me anymore. Anyway, so we move on to Gizelle's segment. They start off with the house and how I guess her renovations are done or halfway done. And I just don't like Gizelle's house. It's just not a cute house to me, but obviously she likes it, and that's all that matters. They showed Karen throwing that shade like, I really like the chandelier. Now, the chandelier was nice. Okay, the chandelier was nice. But the house, whew, to each his own. And honestly, Gizelle's segment was really short because Gizelle didn't have anything going on this season but mess, mostly. And then Gizelle said that in all of her 7 seasons of being on the show, the most feedback that she received was from her getting a hysterectomy. And Candiace hit the nail on the head. She said it's because that is the first time that you actually brought something real to the show. Everything else is either lies, you being messy, fakeness. I mean, this is the only real thing that you had in all your seasons here. And honestly, that's really what your season should have been about. You should have been taking us along that journey with you, but instead you wanted to make up this whole scenario about Chris. Like, girl, wrong way to go. Wrong way to go. So of course Andy asked her about her, hysterectomy and, the process behind that. And she was trying to explain, and she did start to get emotional, and then she tried to stop herself. She's like, we'll talk about it later. And it's like, no, we're talking about it now. And I just don't understand why people are afraid. And it's not just Gizelle. It's not just Gizelle. People are afraid to cry. I just don't understand that. Crying is a natural response to emotions. I don't understand it. Like, I never cry. Huh? You never cry? Why? I cry all the time, baby. I boo. Boo. Okay? It's therapeutic to me. It's a release. I cry when I'm mad. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm happy. Like, but big bad Gizelle gotta be a G at all times, I guess. And I'm just like, it's natural. Crying is so natural. Like, I don't understand why we applaud people for being like, oh, that shows that you're so brave when you don't cry. Like, what? So we move on to Wendy's segment, and they show the Miami incident, Mia throwing the drink. And I really like Robyn's nerve, y'all. Like, telling Wendy that she's being antagonistic. Like, girl, do you not just see what Mia did? Mia not only threw the drink at her, she also hit Wendy with her purse. But Wendy's antagonizing her? Huh? Robyn, make it make sense. Rewatching that whole little Miami incident really made me upset. Like, it really got on my nerves. Like, Robyn, ooh, I don't like her. Ooh, I don't like Robyn. Maybe something in the newer seasons is going to convince me to be on her good side again. I don't know. I don't believe it, though, but I don't know. That's your girl, Robyn? That's your girl? Ooh. And I'm glad Andy said something. Mia basically inserted herself in the drama with Wendy and Peter. It had nothing to do with with Mia. It was none of her business. And Peter is messy for even saying anything to Mia about the situation, because that was him and Wendy's business. You didn't need to go blabbing your mouth to Mia about it. Is it Peter or Patricia? Like Nene Leakes once said, he messy, but we already knew that anyway. Peter just like camera time, honestly. So he'll get on any show that I have him, honey. So, but I'm like, Mia, with her make-believe tea, here she go alleging that Wendy slept with Peter. And honestly, nobody believed it. They're like, girl, you just pulling that out of thin air, child, because nobody believed it at all. It just, yeah, I'm just really not a fan of Robyn. I don't know I just don't know what else to say. I'm not a fan of the girl. I don't like her. So we're still talking about the Miami incident. So Andy brings up how Ashley, her stance on this whole situation. This season, Ash was like, I'm not for violence. I'm not for violence. But Andy was like, but you really went to great lengths to defend Monique when Monique put her hands on Candiace. Like, Monique was aggressive. She was way more aggressive than Mia was. So how can you agree with Monique yet disagree with Mia? Like, make it make sense, Ashley. And Ashley was just saying that she felt like nobody was, holding Mia's feet to the fire, like putting any accountability on Mia. Everybody was just on Wendy. She didn't think that was fair. Like, of course, when the Monique situation happened, nobody was a fan of Monique in that instance. Like, nobody was. So, but she just felt like nobody was holding Mia's feet to the fire. So that's what she just didn't agree with. But I'm like, girl, still don't make sense, because you went and made a character. Like, you went to the courts when it came to that Monique situation. Like, ooh. And I am glad that Andy checked Gizelle's hypocrisy, because she was pissed at Monique. I mean, pissed at Monique for what Monique did to Candiace, to the point where she started walking around with security. Y'all remember I don't know who house they was over, Karen or somebody's house, and she brought in that security guard when they was having a chat with Monique on season whatever that was, 4 or 5 or whatever. So she really, did not mess with Monique for what she did, but you didn't check Mia at all. And she said that she basically didn't check Mia because she doesn't like Wendy. Like, girl, no, that is not a justification. Like, that's so messed up, Gizelle, because right is right and wrong is wrong at the end of the day. So if you don't agree with violence, you shouldn't agree with violence across the board, let alone who it's happening to. Like, girl, Gizelle is a hypocrite. Oh, she's so messy. She needs to bring something else to the table because you going on the low rating side, Gizelle. And what did Wendy even do to Gizelle for her to not like her as much as she does? What did she do? I'm trying to think. I know it has to be something stemming from last season, but was it that big of a deal? Because she checked you? Okay. You need to get checked. So, of course, they bring up the conversation about colorism, which I think is important to know for sure. And I'm glad they're talking about this again. So, Candiace kind of took the floor with explaining what colorism is and how she feels that she's being targeted against. And she was just saying that she is judged more harshly for her behaviors versus someone like Robyn, who does the same type of things, but she's not judged more harshly by the public and by the group. Gizelle swears she didn't understand what Candiace was talking about. And I wish Wendy would have, because Wendy and Candiace, they speak very eloquently, and I really enjoy when they, have topics like this and they're able to speak. Wendy is, I see why she's the, what is she? What's her job? Anyway, professor or whatever. She's really good when she speaks. And I wish they would have gave them the floor to Wendy to piggyback off of Candiace so she could provide more examples, like in-group examples. Because sometimes people don't realize what they're doing until you hit them with, this is the example. And I wish they would have spent more time on that segment, providing more examples of how the lighter skinned gals are treating the darker skinned gals, and how that's colorism. Like, at the end of the day, I really wish they would have spent more time giving some examples, because people like Gizelle, they don't respond to it unless you put it in their face, honestly. Because really, Wendy could have talked about how she was ostracized in Miami, like as if she was the one who attacked. They really like shunned Wendy on their trip, like as if she was the one who threw the drink or hit somebody with a purse. Like, she was treated way more harshly than Mia was in this situation. And why? Like, what is the root of that? Why? That's what they need to get to the bottom of. And that's the example I think they should have talked about, like how Wendy was treated on that Miami trip. If the tables were turned, all right, like, keep your eye out for these folks. So, and walks in Jacqueline. Her hair was really pretty. She had like some little blonde streaks. Dress was blah. So Jacqueline and Mia have about 30 years of friendship. So it's honestly so sad that they haven't mended the friendship yet. And honestly, it looks like it's taking a turn for the worse. It's getting nastier and nastier, and we're watching it unfold. They start to bring out their receipts. Again, Mia has this like glitter Pandora box of receipts of what? I don't know what she's trying to expose Jacqueline of. I guess expose her for sleeping with a married man. But all right, look like Jacqueline got the receipts of how your business went. Bye. So honestly, I would have been trying to get on Jacqueline's good side, girl. She got the tea on you. Like, she can really expose your lies. Like, girl, you need to be begging for her forgiveness. What? Because honestly, if Jacqueline sleeps with a married man, okay, we don't really care that much. Okay, yeah, that's bad, but we don't care. Jacqueline is not an actual main character on this show. Like, she's just a friend of you. We don't care. It's not gonna, but the tea that Jacqueline has on you, Mia, girl, you need to be groveling. Like, girl, please forgive me. Like, she got the tea on you, girl. What? Angie, girl, please. Anyway, so part 3 is going to be a 90-minute long reunion, and honestly, there is a lot to discuss. They still have to bring the men on board. Chris still has something to say to Gizelle. G is going to be talking about the business and how that went underway. Cherie still has to come out in her ugly dress. I won't talk about it until next week. But that dress, Cherise. Who else got to come out? Cherise. Of course, the Jacqueline stuff got to unfold. So that's pretty much it, y'all. It was a good segue into part 3. I think part 3, the fact that it's 90 minutes long, ooh, it's gonna be juicy. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you back here next week.